Good evening, good evening. Welcome all, welcome all to one more day of this Friday live um, streaming online. Um, Little by little, I get a bit proficiency to be a studio and a cameraman. Welcome all, and this Friday, June the 19th, 2020. Last week we talking about awareness and awareness, the mind, and so forth and so on. We mentioned the premise of that tradition, the training of that tradition, of the Buddhism training, is that because the quality of our experience is determined by the mind, by educating our mind, training our mind, you know, we are, change capable. We can change the quality of our experiences and so forth and so on. That's what the awareness coming about. We need to be aware of that in a pattern, in a story, and so forth and so on. So, and putting that into perspective, today we're going to talk about relax and be relaxed, and people is nervous and be relaxed. How could relax like a one click of clap of our fingers? We can't, because that comes from that structure, that pattern we have, and that we're gonna talk today. And then the next week I'll do a little more in details also, the outlook with it. But let's review a little bit the news of the day, June the 19th, 1865. That's where the emancipation came, or the liberation of the slavery, and so forth and so on. Which that event happened in Texas, in the state of Texas, you know, where the general came and said, "Listen, there is the emancipation into that Confederate state." Actuality, the abolition, I believe, I'm not so expert into that, has happened years before. That's what caused, one of the causes, or tried to be here before. That one of the causes of the Civil War. Point I make is the following. Uh, those guys, those people at the time tried to preserve their assets. Into that case, the assets was other humans, which they could do whatever they wanted to. Uh, but most importantly, how they acquire those assets. They acquire from Africa. But the major slave trade in the world, the most important one, slave trade in the world, was the Portuguese. Very, very Catholic, very religion. Ooh. So there is a supreme being, and I don't want to go into but the point I want to make is the awareness and how we're mistaken. I'm so religious. At the same time, I can kill that asset as a cockroach if they don't behave well, if they do whatever they want, or at least the person try to be free because they are free. They are caught and put a situation. So as if I go somebody else's house, kidnap the kids, the wife, everything, and do whatever I want. And I am a religion person. What kind of awareness I have? Put quickly up to date. We have celebrations there, and who knows about it? Oh, I didn't know about. And nevertheless, I heard a little one review on one book just came for one person who has doing the research. So there are a cult so strong which try to repeat those things in different mode but the same. That's the point where awareness it is so important, like we said last week. And then with that we go enter into that relaxed mode for today. I'm just bring food for thoughts, how that will enhance our capacity to engage more in analytical meditation. By the way, last week or so, I eloquently made about the case of the pig wants to be eaten, you know. And I said, yeah, study, but this is not part of the analytical method, but that's for us to understand how much confusion and not clear awareness we have from now, even for ourselves, how, this contradiction is. In other words, it's so narrow in one point, but capable to do other stuff so badly. Sometimes not for others, for myself, and then others will receive those benefits. Well, into that case, the way to do that, the way to get that consciousness in sense of relaxation is because, yeah, be relaxed. How I can't be patient. I can't. I am not. You know. So what I need to do is the following. I have to have a mind, strong mind, to say stop, come down. It's not everybody else. It's myself saying to me and acting this way. In order to do that, in order to gain that strength, I have to have strength in the mind. And the way to acquire that is by doing concentration meditation. It's very simple. And why we don't acquire that? Because I can't, we don't spend time, we don't put the mind into it. So that's what the concept, the meditation is the tool. And the first step is that concentration meditation. Keep the mind in object. I believe most of you know already. Then that will generate tranquility and strength. The mind's wandering, bring the mind back. The mind's wandering, bring the mind back. Breathing in, breathing out, feel comfortable, feel relaxed, and let go. I want to set my time over here for us to do our first analytical meditation for today. And let's start right now. Take one deep breath. The topic, today topic, relax. This modern world, the whole world, but especially in the modern world and our culture, stress is like a virtually a epidemic. So we don't know how to rest. We forgot to it means what means rest and so forth and so on. So and then sometimes we try to thinking, well, let me unplug for a little while, a couple of days or even an hour. As a matter of fact, sometimes we try to unplug every day into happy hours. I go to the bar for the happy hours. Uh, yes, it's all right to go to the movie, spa, a bar, social things. But should it be a place to go to have fun? But sometimes we can't because we cannot unplug that habit we have. We all burn out about the responsibilities and so forth and so on. And the corporation itself, recently, a company started putting a meditation room. This to decompress a little bit, to put more pressure, to do, to put more stress on you. So, relaxation is an inner state to have a mind which is calm, that a calm foundation, and then that can bring everything what we need to do. Everything we do coming with that clarity. Relaxation in such a way, not with thinking relaxation, be lazy, be slow. No, the more relaxed we are, the more relaxed into that inner state. I believe, not I believe, I not believe, I know we'll have much better clarity of mind. We'll have much more discernment, wisdom coming from that. So it's not something momentary, one happy hours, and then no, it's a habit. We achieve that, they change the quality of that inner state. And then slowly, slowly, and that become part of our daily life, daily routine, and so forth and so on. Evidently, we have to have a good time as well. Family, yourself, vacations is all right, it's all good. But the way to understand that inner state of relaxation is meditation. Meditation is an ideal means to go there, to go and, put us into that state. So that's why we have, and that's why we need to put into that condition. Modern world, modern world in many ways is the world of stress, is the world of very serious, conditions of just being tight, 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 losing the quality of life. We do have friends, but we talk business. We don't share a heart, caring, being loving, be kind. can see that. My career allowed myself to do that. If I put career, my livelihood put that. Because I'm taking care of my inner being, inner structure. And I can see what I do every day. People is overwhelmed, in panic, in stress, confused. So we have the idea, no, I'm not Buddhist, and then forget about those nicknames, but it is a path. And that philosophy is a path of that transformation, transforming what? Into that stress, in a state of being relaxed, being calm. When you get this, this awakening, so speaking, because we understanding that awareness of our pattern, and then try to awakening that potential we have. It is a process. So then, consequently, slowly, and we go into this process, and that awareness bring the light of understanding that in a pattern, in a story we have. Then we should beginning understanding relaxation. Yes, it's okay, but not just take your time out. When you take your time out, reflect. Whoa, I'm stressed due to my inner pattern, due to my inner story. So the more we cultivate that, the more we understanding that conditioned state, the inner state, we understanding how stressful we are. Yes, this world right now, I mean, I'm talking to all of you. I have a little problem. And then I have to learn how to set up the camera. You'll see the camera sometimes collapse and the batteries and all this. And I try to learn it, all those things. It's more demanding. I can serve more. And I have people all over the place in participating. People, I believe, from Brazil and people from South America. I mean, South America, Brazil, but Uruguay. I mean, last meditation I did, I had someone from France as well. But it's a matter, okay, it's a learning. And I go. And I take the challenging and learning. But then we, in a culture, since as a child, with the parents, as a parents, go, school, one of the best school, and no playing, academics, is athletic. And they will become, because try to be a super being, super person. Consequently, when you get 18, 19, a lot of them just explode, feel frustrated. And the root of that frustration sometimes block an unbelievable person right there to be, unbelievable capacity to be, and get me into that. So we need to take a little break. All the other things, like I mentioned, read a book and this and that, is wonderful. But we need to read a book which will empower the mind. We need to take a break and just try to reflecting, understanding that in a pattern. We sometimes don't take a break for the work because everybody say, "Whoa, no, I'm in a corporate. I need to." Don't take a vacation. I don't take a vacation myself. If I remember the time, I said I am in vacation. Listen, at least 30 years. How I do it? Ah, but on the other hand, I'm 30 years I'm 30 years in vacation. More than that. Theoretically, I am going to be 38 years without work, at least in a corporate contract. So I do my meditation, okay, but I work tireless, content, because my mind is working. I have a joy to helping others. I have a joy to really to take challenging cases, but not stressful. Sometimes when stress me, I'm a little bit, I have to look at it because I lose my cool, because I'm a human. When somebody else tries to come with nonsense and say, yeah, I'm right. Ooh. And that's, I mean, I lose my, say, listen, not much to show, and how we are completely wrong into that view of performance, the view of, I mean, regenerate this clarity of the mind, and so forth and so on. And that's the reason we have very difficult to understand our own suffering and how we're suffering, the structure of our suffering, and so forth and so on. So it is very important for us to pay attention to it. It's very important for us to reflect upon that. Get clarity. The reason I have a very difficult to relax is due to my inner story, my basically my inner pattern, my the inner pattern, the story I belong to, then become my personal version of reality, and so forth and so on. So let's do in one more concentration meditation, because that's again focus in your breathing, in inhaling, exhaling, to really to bring strength to our mind, tranquility to our mind, and then we go subsequently to the analytical meditation, to analyzing those factors, to analyze that inner pattern, inner stories we have, and then slowly, slowly we change our habit, envision possibilities and growth into this world, be a force, a positive force in this world, a force of joy and happiness, not stressful, not confused, but relax. Relax. Now, let's do our analytical, our concentration meditation, and one more time. And I want to set my time over here for us to doing that concentration meditation. Take one deep breath, and I believe I cannot see you, but I believe all of you, most of you, know I am interested into healing, into the psycho-spiritual healing. And one of my success and expertise into that, because since a child I understand the mind and try to and were able to sense energetically some stress in a person, hidden stress, sometimes we're not aware of it. And that's where I started to work and then develop myself and continue to develop to understand that. We pay a very high toll for that hidden causes of stress on our physical and mental health. That's affect tremendously our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Lack of sleep, stomach pain, stomach diseases, bad digestion, headaches, migraines, neck, body, and all things. And nevertheless, anxiety, panic, and then we get trapped in our, things. We don't know how to do that. We start, mon amour, you know, my beloved one, later on, fight. Why? We lose. You see, at the beginning, you have this kind of energy moving, nice and caring relationship that we lose. Why? Because we allow that inner structure, stressful structure taking place. Then we lose that capacity to smell, to feel it. And that's our life. That's our life. Forget about work. That's our life. So we need time for ourselves to recover our sensitivity, our attention in relationship, the sharing, but not sharing fight, not sharing wrong ideas, but sharing the best as we can, the best as we have. For that, we need to relax. We need to relax the mind. We need to generate that spirit of relaxation in everything we do, business, relationship, to ourselves. We need to plan vacation because that's a habit to what? To exercise that state of relaxation. Ah, the same way you need to work to get our sustainability, we need to sustain that state of relaxation to generate time, momentum to relax ourselves, to break that natural consumption of this modern world. Vacation, it is important, not vacation to fixing, vacations to do nothing except appreciate yourself, appreciate your beloved ones. share more that life, and then your life change, your lifestyle change, and that relaxation will come inwardly. The best momentum to do that, excuse me, the best methodology to do that, the method to do that is the meditation. And should start very strong with the awareness and the consciousness about about the concentration meditation. We should really try to generate a habit every day, and that will open the door for that joy and happiness and close the door, diminished, eliminated the door of stress, the craziness, the panic, and so forth and so on. We need to develop a habit. As you develop a habit, and the meditation definitely will lead you to that. Approach that mind with motivation, with that attitude of I want to be happy. Consequently, I need to relax. And then the more we do, and we get there. By the way, I put the time for our meditation 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. And it's the minimum to start. I believe all of you has doing much more than that. But those start right now, new in meditation, just do that for 5 minutes. Create a habit. As much as you can do in one moment, okay, go to the bathroom and get a little time out, not for the happy hours per se, but keep to a mind to remind you, bring the mind back to that concentration, and then you will learn that. You learn that. So, and that's where the technical things happen over here, between until getting there to fix this whole thing. So if you sleep on the street, then we get uh, got into that. But anyhow, we need to do that. We need to pay attention to it. And that's one of the major feature of meditation is to bring the mind, the concentrated meditation, to bring the mind focus into in the strength of the concentration meditation, bring the mind focus. Consequently, we can have a hold, putting hold that is stressful, that in a pattern, in a story, which affect us. So, and that's what we need to do. Then, subsequently, we move to the analytical meditation. And then we start to do those kind of questions. What the relaxation means to me and what it does for myself. Are we I stress? Then we like it or we know about it. Why that stress it is invisible for instance. Why it's just manifest, I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know where they're coming from. That inner store, the inner pattern and inner store. So, and then by doing that analytical meditation, we'll be able to bring that more clarity to our. Let's do a little short analytical meditation because this is a little more insight for you guys because you guys have to do that daily. Create this a habit. I'm trying to just model it to you, for you to create that habit to move into that direction. And then certainly you'll be able to gain those benefits of that meditation and so forth and so on. So the analytical meditation, as you know, there are four phases. First, familiarity. So then this familiarity, pay attention pay attention to your inner stories, inner pattern. In contrast, what we just learned today, relaxation. Today is the topic of relaxation. Then think about, no, but not analytical, but just learning everything from yourself into that point. And then you go to the second, your reasoning. What's going on? How am I experiencing that? And then you see, is relaxation a temporary thing or is a tip in my being? Can I change or not? What I should do to change that? How I could become? Why I so narrow mind performance into that? So performance driven into that. So the better we understanding those things through the reasoning, and then we know how to do the application, and how I can put that in my life, how I can generate this attention to my life, and how meditation indeed enhances my motivation to meditate to become strong in my day by day life, and then see what kind of insight come out. So when I put my time over here for us to do that concentration meditation, and I want to do just very brief for us and to do that meditation right now after our concentration. We're going to do 2 minutes and a half for each of those phases. And let's focus now into the familiarity, everything I have said about relaxation. Relax, relax. Now we go to the reasoning and then focus upon is realization a temporary feeling or a deep inner charge? Have we become too performance driven? Can conditioning stress be detrimental to my health, physical and mental? May I become much better performance, productive, if I do have more kind of tranquil, peaceful way of being? Just reason upon that. Let you go to the application. If the meditation is one of the best habits and method to bring myself in a peaceful and relaxed mode, why blocks me to not to have that? Why I don't apply that more regularly, constantly in my life? Why I don't generate a pattern, habit to do that? If you have now, out of those three sessions, familiarity, reasoning, and the application. If there are any insight of those three, this will be your object of concentration. Otherwise, just go back to your breathing and keep your doing your concentration meditation. Take one deep breath. Bring yourself back in here. Sorry, today my throat was not good. Not good, not good. Anyhow, that's a good conclusion and last words. Always I had said for you guys, relax, relax. Now you know that relaxation, it is an inner state. It is how we be able to override that inner story, inner pattern we have. You need to be patient. You need to keep yourself simple but perseverant. Make a habit. It is making a habit. This is a path. You continue to practice and doing this. That's where, in many ways, there are so many philosophies. I started today not being religion, but it is so much out there over the centuries. Instead of we become a new, we have much more benefits, but yet we don't know how to use those benefits to be a peaceful thing. I'm just a humble fisherman. Don't know nothing because they cannot catch anything to the ocean. You go there, come back, relax. Well, maybe tomorrow. No, no, get up and keep going, and keep going. I believe if you look at the longevity of people who live longer, they are one have a life relax. Those guys are stressed, even have a heart attack, don't know why they're coming from. That's what I try to do Juniper. Really to bring that ancient knowledge. Take the dogma, but put that in life to be nice. Yes, there are so many things, but just a metaphor to create a little allegory for us to generate the habits, not being discriminated, but be open mind towards your own self, able to bring the clarity of that potency, the wisdom we have. Took me a while, all those masses and so forth and so on. And that's what Juniper tried to do that, bring that for all of you. So today I was reading a seminar how I could learn how to be how they call streaming at my church. At least we have the according to the state uh, category who we are church. So now I'll become a streamer, you know, into that. But this is for today. This is for the Saturday evening. And really, when I say relax, look towards your inner pattern, your inner story, to smell more the fragrance of life, the nectar of the happiness, and really bring your mind in much more contentment. Give a little break to your body, your parasympathetic nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system. That will bring more health, long life, full of joy, happiness, for you to be able to share that with your friends, family, loved ones, loved ones, and especially to yourself. That's that inner learn, that inner growth. That's what Juniper is about. It is a modern tradition of Buddhism, ancient in thoughts, ancient in methodology, focus this modern world, this modern culture, especially to override that situation of stress, become more humans, and have a better humanity for us, not celebrating or either remembering one bad aspect of our own existence from our ancestors. That's one, so many, so many, so many. Well, thank you all for your patience and be well, be careful, just be healthy. I hope we continue to create conditions for us to bring a better world, to create a new world with joy, happiness, be peace, relax, and long life. Thank you, friend. Next Friday. Good night.